If you're lying in bed, unable to sleep, and you happen to stumble upon Xiao Kei's episode of Wilderness Building in the Rain, then congratulations, you're in luck again. This is a godsend for insomniacs. After watching, you're guaranteed to drift off to a peaceful sleep. Quickly grab your phone with about 60% battery, cross your right foot over your left, and let's slowly enjoy this stress-relieving process together. Today, Xiao Chao has come to the tropical rainforest of Ionia. To experience the ultimate wilderness building in the rain, he quickly cleared an area and used the readily available bamboo from the surroundings as material for building his shelter. He then set 2 upright posts into the ground, and through the joints in the middle of the posts, he erected 2 crossbeams. These resilient bamboo strips can be bent into any desired shape. They are perfect for the shelter's framework. They couldn't be more suitable. Just as Xiao Chao continued to build the front framework, the pouring rain arrived as expected. In the heavy rain, Xiao Chao patiently worked on the mortise and tenon joints of the bamboo. For him, this kind of weather is an ultimate pleasure. He then continued to replicate the front framework structure, following his previous building method. To make the entire shelter more stable, the front and back frameworks still needed to be firmly connected with bamboo. Once the framework was complete, he could split the bamboo into strips that were still connected, like lotus roots. These would be laid at the bottom of the framework to serve as the floor. Xiao Chao is also known as the rain god by many netizens. Wherever he goes, heavy rain is sure to follow. The white noise of this rain can also help insomniacs fall asleep in the dead of night. By now, the entire sky had completely darkened. One might think he was building the shelter at night. After finishing the floor construction, Xiao Chao continued to fill and seal the surrounding walls. Seal them, since the framework had pre-made slots, he only needed to slot the bamboo pieces into the openings. To quickly complete the wall filling, to give the plastic wrap more adhesion, Xiao Chao also decided to reinforce the middle of the framework with a few more bamboo strips. This would prevent the plastic wrap from sagging due to rain pressure, reducing the risk of the roof collapsing. The weather in Ionia is just like your girlfriend's mood. It changes in an instant. Taking advantage of the rain stopping, Xiao Chao wrapped the shelter with plastic wrap. With such great craftsmanship, he'll surely find a good job in the future. For efficient job searching, just use 58. For renting or selling homes, or finding local services, 58 is recommended. The monotonous appearance clearly didn't meet Xiao Chao's aesthetic standards. So, he found some palm leaves and fastened them around the entrance, adding a touch of green to the plain doorway. Finally, he trimmed off the excess. Because Xiao Chao particularly likes labubu, he also made 2 ears and installed them on top of the shelter. Then he continued to weave with palm leaves and cut them into suitable circular shapes. They fit perfectly when installed in the middle of the door frame. After working hard for most of the day, Xiao Chao was now hungry. He casually took out some biscuits and started eating. Thanks to his extensive building experience, even though there was a fierce storm outside, there was no sign of water leakage inside. On a stormy day, hiding in your own secret base fills you with a complete sense of security. According to Xiao Chao's impression, Labubu also has a face that appears somewhat mischievous. The bare doorway still looked quite plain at the moment. He continued to fasten vines to the doorway. At the top, he pieced together branches to form a triangle to serve as Labubu's fangs. Next, he crafted a pair of bright, piercing eyes. After installing the door panel onto the door frame, the shelter now instantly had a vibrant and lifelike appearance. As night fell, Xiao Chao lit 2 cozy camping lanterns. Then he changed into dry clothes. After eating and drinking his fill, he began to set up his single bed. He then closed the door, lay down in his secret base, covered himself with a small blanket, and peacefully drifted off to sleep. After many days, the plastic wrap warrior Xiao Chao was seen again. He once again ventured into the tropical rainforest of Ionia. In the tropical rainforest of Ionia, today, he also collected materials directly along the way, preparing to build a shelter for himself. Before the rainy season arrived, he fixed bamboo strips into the soil, first creating the shelter's framework. Then he continued to reinforce the surface of the framework with a layer of bamboo strips to increase its sturdiness. It's said that 95% of people can't type this character. Can your phone type this character? At the same time, he had to cut off a small section to serve as the future entrance. And the rain god truly lived up to his name. Before the shelter could even be roofed, the pouring rain came down in buckets. Helpless, he had long been accustomed to this process. After all, a child without an umbrella can only run harder. A child without an umbrella, it also hopes for a better life in the future. Xiao Chao wasn't just getting wet from the rain, it was a baptism of his perseverance. Seeing the groundwater getting deeper and deeper, to isolate the rainwater from the ground, Xiao Chao decided to find some equal bamboo tubes and insert them into the soil. He laid a few bamboo pieces on top for support, then he split the bamboo tubes into strips that were still connected, like lotus roots, preparing to use them for flooring. Using these bamboo strips as flooring not only preserved the bamboo's vibrant green, but also made the surface smooth and uniform. The bamboo strips were threaded through the gaps between the bamboo tubes. This prevented the floor from shifting. He continued to copy and paste in this manner until the entire floor was laid. Finally, he reinforced the entire structure with wire. Then, he could take out the long unseen plastic wrap and begin sealing the entire shelter. The process of wrapping with plastic wrap seems simple, but it's actually not difficult at all. You just need to pay attention to one thing. Each layer must be pulled tight so that the plastic wrap adheres tightly to the framework. This can prevent rainwater intrusion. This type of plastic wrap is stronger than household cling film. It's also called stretch film. Finally, after trimming a bang-style fringe at the entrance, Xiao Chao could sit down and rest for a bit. Considering the lack of a door, which made him feel very insecure, he used bamboo to create door frames on both sides. Then he continued to build the enclosure. Inside, a portion of the ground was still exposed dirt. Xiao Chao decided to process more bamboo strips to build a clean footrest for himself. This way, when sleeping on the upper level, he could place his muddy shoes here. After finishing all this, he turned and walked deeper into the dense forest, collecting many palm leaves. He skillfully wove them together. He reinforced the edges with bamboo strips, creating two protective walls for the entrance. This could effectively prevent rainwater from blowing inside, and also significantly improve its appearance. At this point, the shelter was almost complete. The interior was very dry, with no leaks at all. Suddenly, the sky darkened, as if the end of the world was approaching. Xiao Chao was working overtime to build the door. Seeing the rain intensify, to prevent accumulated water from affecting his new home, he quickly dug drainage ditches around it. This would divert the excess rainwater to one side. Finally, with the plastic wrap door installed, the entire new home was ready for immediate occupancy. Xiao Chao took off his shoes and went inside. He hung a warm, dim camping light, making the whole new home feel cozier. After he changed into dry clothes, the sudden cold air forced him to wrap himself tightly in his blanket. Once his body warmed up, the sky had completely darkened. Xiao Chao's stomach began to rumble. He lit the gas canister stove he brought, then heated oil in a pan. He put in egg rolls and ham to fry. This would be his dinner for the day. He also boiled some water for himself to brew, a cup of fragrant jasmine milk tea. Life couldn't be more pleasant. Outside, the rain was steadily falling. Huddled in his self-made secret base, listening to the white noise of raindrops, this moment made him feel incredibly de-stressed and relaxed. After eating and drinking his fill, he closed the door, wrapped himself in his trusty little blanket, and prepared to listen to the sleep-inducing rain sounds, peacefully drifting off to sleep. The scene shifts. The rain god, Xiao Chao, set off again. Because he particularly enjoys camping in the rain, he checks the weather forecast every day. As long as rain is predicted, he will not hesitate to come to the tropical rainforest just to enjoy, alone, the white noise of raindrops. Today's rain was much heavier than expected, so rebuilding a shelter was clearly not realistic. He first laid out the tent on the ground. Considering the occasional strong winds, he had to drive stakes into the ground all around to secure it firmly. Otherwise, with a gust of wind, his campsite would be swept away. Now, he could set up a support pole in the middle, allowing the tent fabric to form a triangular shelter. And to be safe, Xiao Chao also reinforced the front with a windproof rope. Afterward, he still needed to tidy up some details. to meet safe occupancy standards. With this level of sturdiness, even an 8-force gale wouldn't be a problem, because being scared wouldn't help anyway. And being experienced, he once again chose to dig a drainage ditch around the area. Otherwise, it wouldn't be long before his campsite would be submerged by rainwater. With the white noise of these raindrops, plus this sleep-inducing background music, at this moment, I feel like I'm about to fall asleep. Now, Xiao Chao hung a camping light and arranged his gear one by one. As for sleeping arrangements, he had also prepared in advance. A portable folding bed, designed to be elevated from the ground, could effectively prevent ground rainwater. Before officially settling in, Xiao Chao braved the rain to go outside again to do a final clearing of the drainage ditch. After all the work was done, he finally changed into dry clothes, took out his pots and pans, and prepared to start dinner. First, he brewed himself a cup of hot milk tea to dispel the chill from being in the rain. Then, he heated oil in a pan and poured in the sausage mixed with egg liquid. This simple life was just too good.